Oh, well, alright. We're starting this bad boy. Um, as you can see here, or at least so I can. Yeah, you can. Um, oh, actually, let me restart this. I'm Josh. I've always, I guess, wanted to live stream. Not sure really what. Clearly, like, I'm okay at video games. Clearly, I am not the best looking human being, so it's not like someone catch me on some naughty website of some sort. So, it honestly became I wanted to dive into why this guy here, Jeffrey Epstein, um, was allowed to be who he was so easily and what seems like without any pushback. Now, through this investigation, who knows how it's going to really be. It could be anything from that everybody that we run into here, like Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, um, all sorts of people, um, are totally complicit with it and 100% into it. Um, well, maybe not 100%, but at least don't 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 care that it's going on, I guess. So all the way to everyone in theory hated him, and for some reason the dude's just or at least was a incredibly lucky son of a bitch. Not lucky for diddling children, but lucky for somehow not getting caught, and then until he did. So, really, what we're looking at is good old Epstein here. Sorry, I'm just clicking around stuff, but yeah, this really just to see how it goes and where things go to. Um, so I guess how I really originally started looking through this was I honestly opened up about a bajillion different tabs to see who's what and where, to see who they are, kind of get a background. And what I'll end up probably doing is doing a diagram to the best of my ability in this. And put names in places and having strings going to names. See what relations are, who's what and where. And I'll end up also probably writing like for instance here, Jeffrey Epstein. We'll probably do it in nice Arial black there, bold, underlined. Also make it probably something like that. Underneath here it can probably be like a 16-ish or so. And then we'll just put like Jeffrey Epstein. Pedophile billionaire. Whoop. Pedophile billionaire. Somehow acquired billions of dollars. Damn, my spelling's bad. Meeting a high life of the world. Own an island Now with all this, this is all going to be subject to change, all that type of thing. He is like, this is a living, breathing document type of thing, and once when we can't dig up any more info, I suppose, I may even release it periodically, I suppose. But this is all subject to change to more or less live and breathe as we learn and discover together, really. So, sorry about that. Things just popping up, and typically I'm not a streamer. This is the first stream I've ever done, ever. So, you have to forgive my random flubbery, if you will. So, what I want to do is just kind of go through this and look at all this. Now, I don't think that his parents are necessarily creeps or anything like that. His brother might, but there's a lot less info that I've seen of his brother. Um, Holy Mother of God, there we go. And that. Look, basically, all these people are just going to be potentially problems of things. Because I guess realistically, we don't know how long that dude has been doing these things to children. I mean, as far back as we know, it's only back to the 90s. And while a lot of this stuff is before then, who knows if he wasn't, at least attempting to do this type of thing. So we can go back through here and see what's been going on, and who's who of things. Because I guess in my mind, I assume the exact opposite of how the American justice system supposedly works, which is everyone that this dude is potentially ever talked to is potentially guilty of at least helping him until we can't pull up anything for him, or for them. So, I mean, Leslie Wexner, I live in Ohio. So that's a little sad to see, that type of thing. But yeah, everybody could possibly be doing some terrible, terrible things. Like he's potentially friends with Harvey Weinstein, Mortimer Zuckerman, Nelson Peltz. Like, I don't. I guess I'm not going to really get into the science of this type of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna go into research as to if people who have a sexual desire for kids and stuff, if there's a mental thing, or if you're just born that way, or whatever. I'm not really here for that. I just want to know if this dude's guilty or not. That's really all I want. So yeah, we're just gonna dig through this pretty in depth, or so I hope. but it'll be, you know, roughly 4 hours from now once when we see who's who and, well, see where we get in 4 hours, I guess is what I should say. But if not, I plan on doing this unless I have something planned every 4-ish hours. But I plan on doing this every Thursday just to make sure, or to get to the bottom of this. I'd hate to, assuming that you guys actually like this and show up and things like that, I'd hate to leave this out in the open and not resolved. Oh. And so I will also be using Notepad++ here to add everyone's name that we run into that I can't go get, and then once when I go through here to go, oh goodness, pardon me, everyone that doesn't have a Wikipedia article, cool, great. So I'll do digging on them through other means, and to go take everyone in Wikipedia here down also, just so I can continue digging into what we know of them at the very least. Um, oh, apparently I need coffee. Young is 14, and many under 16. Jesus, that's that's just awful. Potentially 12-year-old triplets. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry, like that's terrible, but what the hell? Also, that like nope. Also, probably none of these guys were part of that problem, or so I hope. I think they're scummy for taking the case, even though that was paid for. And also you, Stephen Pinker. And he was indeed given a sweetheart deal. Holy Jesus, like that's just stupid. Like it hurts my head. You guys, because you took the money, now you may not have known, but can't rule anything out. Good old Trumpy boy. And, I mean, personally, I don't think this necessarily matters. But just easier to I suppose get this out here so that we all know this is that I'm a Democrat. They're pretty hardcore. But I also don't think that justice falls on one side of the political spectrum or the other. It doesn't matter if you're right or left or whatever. Um, but you know, um, if Bill Clinton's also part of the problem, we will definitely be there. Um, Finding it out versus versus wiping it under the rug. I hate anybody that's in for this type of situation at all. So, yeah, I whoever happens to be in the way deserves to be taken down, I guess. This is so many people. It's a little gross. So many people. We're just gonna. There are more than that many people, like, within two, maybe even three spaces between Epstein and. So there'd be Epstein, one, two, three. Um, if we get past that thousand, there's a fucking problem. Most of his wealth is offshore, which we all probably could have guessed that. And where everyone failed the suicide watch. Well, yep, that's about how she goes, really. Good God, what else is there? And like a bajillion of these. Holy fuck, I did not realize how many fucking things there are to Jeffrey, the legit hangman himself, Epstein. Good fucking God. Epstein federal court case, docket on Monday should certified his total assets of about $500,000, which is, I don't know why you need to be worth and have the assets of this much, but holy fuck, do I just want that amount of money? Not for what he did, but holy shit. Immediate return, on Marshall Hat Court, What we know. Real estate holdings and positions, bunch of happy horse crap. In both stated he owns 6 properties along with other personal property he appears to be holding. There's Maple Inc., Only Cypress Inc., according to online records. Real estate, this place, which sounds awful. Knowing about it, Then appointed for East Side Town Finance in June. Jesus. God. Yes. It's like a fucking compound, though. It has an island. At least 15 vehicles. Jesus. There's cargo van. So, all this is going to tell us is that the usual scoop. Oh god, no, no! Said he wanted to run his own business. Manufacturer reported that were rumors of technical infringement. Kane and Epstein denied. Greenberg said he can't recall according to the report. Damn. Seen met two more men who impacted French life. Leslie Wexner. House. CEO of L Brands. Also, Leslie Wexner is the only person to be identified, publicly identified, I should say, with Epstein's money management. No other public records have been found at all. And then this one sounds new, but also there's a lot of people that want to investigate. So, what I mean by new is that I've kind of already looked through a lot of this, but not all of it. Holy Jesus, $6.5 million to Harvard for just donations of stuff. Jesus. Jesus. Well, that's fucking asinine. Fair enough. Ooh, video time where I get to be silent for funsies. Yay! As my whole crowd screams and cheers. We don't have to listen to the man with a sucky online presence.
A registered sex offender who made a fortune as a hedge fund manager in the 1980s and 90s, known for his lavish lifestyle and high-profile connections. Jeffrey Epstein is facing new allegations that he exploited dozens of young girls for sex.
Victims were given cash payments if they could bring other underage girls to be similarly abused. And that's how he continued to expand the number of new victims that he had.
It's the latest in a decades-old saga that's been held up as an example of how powerful, rich men avoid accountability. So, who is Jeffrey Epstein?
Hold on, real quick. Powerful rich men? Let's also, I know this sounds like an SJW thing, but let's also include white men in that too, because God forbid that a black man does that, because cop will just shoot him in the back of the head. Just saying.
The 66-year-old was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. In his early 20s, he taught physics and math at the Dalton School, an elite Manhattan prep school. Connections he made there got him a job at the investment bank firm Bear Stearns. He then went on to open his own finance firm in 1982. And that's where he amassed his fortune. His firm reportedly only accepted clients worth $1 billion or more. Epstein tried to lead a private life, but his work managing the money of the very wealthy got him into some very high-profile social circles. He became friendly with former President Bill Clinton and current President Donald Trump, also Britain's Prince Andrew. Epstein has 6 residences, including an entire private island in the Caribbean and this $56 million mansion. The 7-story house is one of the largest private residences in Manhattan. These recent charges include allegations he sexually abused underage girls from 2002 to 2005 inside his Manhattan and Palm Beach homes. When he faced similar allegations a decade ago, federal prosecutors in Florida struck a secret plea deal with Epstein. He avoided a possible life sentence in prison and spent 13 months in Palm Beach jail, where he was allowed to leave for work 6 days a week. That 2008 plea deal was negotiated in part by Trump's current labor secretary, Alexander Acosta, who was then the top federal prosecutor in Miami. Now, prosecutors and investigators are seeking to hold Epstein without bail and have appealed for other victims to come forward.
Your bravery might just empower others to speak out about crimes committed against them. It's important to remember there never was, nor will there be, an excuse for this kind of behavior.
Epstein could face up to 45 years in prison.
Well, could, except that since this is a little old, he real dead. But that gives us some light into him. Court documenty stuff. One division furniture, massages, and then they turn sexual, gross. 1966, he charged with one count of sex trafficking of a minor. There's a maximum sentence of 40 years. One count of conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking minors would carry a maximum of 5 years in prison. Statutory maximum mandatory penalties, Congress, da 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 da. Well, let's just put less in there right now because we know he is somehow in here. But damn, this is genuinely impressive. The rest of the world, huge wealth and influence, friendship, figures, establishment, celebrities, politicians, blah blah blah. Westerners understood. Since cut ties with Epstein, however, the investment banker maintained an impressive contact list from Hollywood to Washington, whose generous philanthropists donated millions of dollars to Harvard and other institutions engaged with cutting-edge scientific research. Once counted Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Kevin Spacey, and Naomi Campbell among his associates. Well, if you do say so. And then we're just gonna... Wow, I fucked that up the whole way. Donald the Don Trump. Kevin Spacey. Makes me sad that dude's been ousted as some weirdo because I enjoy his acting. Oh well. The Great Gatsby is downfall a decade ago. 2005. Diddling a 14-year-old because you're fucking weird, I guess is the least bad thing I can go say. Oh yeah, Prince Andrew. Let's just throw up. Throw that up. Alright, well, that's the end of that one. That is a big ass place. Like, that is fucking huge. Fucking gaudy chairs. But whatever. And also, what the... I know that's an investigation, but I have to critique this. Like, it looks like the diamond metal plate stuff on the walls here that he like spray painted gold. And I know this is a shadow, probably from this, but it also looks like that there was like a burn there. I can't tell what that is. Looks like just a random brace for no apparent reason. And also, with that much wall space, why such a small ass picture? Come on. Serial rapist and pedophile. Fucking gold. And also, fucking called the Lolita Express. Jesus Christ. Bill Clinton, DT. star. Which I will eventually get this and the flight logs, just so that you guys can go look. It'll help us complete the whole story, or so I hope. The whole 9 type of thing. But we don't know. And hell, even though I'm investigating this, and there's a thing for Maxwell, which I don't remember how to say her first name because every time that I want to go say it, my brain has a small stroke because there are too many letters for that type of name. Even though that she is going to hopefully have a court date and have to go through her trial, we don't know how that's going to play out. Maybe she offs herself too, and then we're stuck with what we find. We'll also go through the court documents. This will be a multi-part series. I don't expect, like I said, it's going to take several hours. Wait, what? In the week since his arrest, we have learned more about the Cliff's travel. Some observers have linked him to his glamorous social magnet. Jake Gatsby, more purpose may be the fixer, sexual activist. Alright then. Roy Khan. But I don't know who that is. And frankly, I guess I don't necessarily care. Ugh, people are a little ridiculous. Alright, now. Trade it. Andy Warhol, assuming that I'm not misreading this, is Khan's favorite broker in boldface, Chung, top of the Democratic machine, politicians, mobster, Carmine Lilo Galante, Nancy Reagan, proprietors of Studio 54, the Catholic, Andy Warhol. Okay, so we don't actually need to get that person, sorry. Oh. Sorry that you had to talk about being on his airplane. Yeah, this one. I don't remember how the fuck to say her first name. So some Pinterest thing. Do I need to? It looks like I do. My assumption is probably that one. Ooh, and probably that one. Gangsta. Or so I hope. Fine then. Allow the images. Really? Am I just gonna have to kill this? Oh, okay. have to have it off and the image is cool to go. Jesus. Alright, so we got, so what we're going to do here, Alright, so clearly we got Woody Allen. Dr. Ava Anderson Dubin. Where we got Senor Prince Andrew. Restauranter. Whoop. Alec Baldwin. I promise we will go through what all these people are, or at least I will. Burger. Bruin. Bill Berkman. Burley. Holy fuck. We're just gonna go through this at a different point, I think, because I think the rest of this happens to be. Yup. Yeah, this will be. Everybody that was in this black book. Which, I mean, we can go do, but I feel like that's a shitload of stuff to potentially go through. Well, that's some shit. So, Sarah Callan. Or Nadia Markanova. So, I mean, in layman's terms, what this sounds like, and honestly, any criminal charges against any potential co-conspirators of FT, including but not limited to. So those 4 women are off the hook. Then who else does it actually stick to? And that's the problem, is that it really could be anybody. I mean, Maxwell, and like, yeah, like I'm not surprised that this is legitimately happening. Like, who the fuck else is there? I mean, besides Glenn or Glisten or whatever the fuck her name is, Maxwell. I don't legitimately get it at all, and it hurts my head. So, with that, purpose in this case for an SPG jump, but other individuals may not be involved in any type of suicide. Their individual is on the top layer, and that's where the focus per blue. Yeah, that's not no. We put that douchebag's name in there. No, not yet. Copy and the paste. Just this whole fucking article is goofy as fuck. Well, like, all the information, not necessarily the article itself. But I can't believe that, like, something like, yeah, exactly like this. Like, so the parties anticipate that this agreement will not be made part of any public record. The United States receives a Freedom of Information Act request or any compulsory process commanding the disclosure of agreement. Will provide notice to Epstein before making the disclosure, which realistically means, like, he might even have a say to it. Like, we don't know that, and I don't plan on working on that information. But it sounds like, that he's being treated better than, like, if you or I were to have been put into this situation somehow, or let's say we murder a high-profile person, right? Or assassinate, I guess, is the appropriate term for that. Either which way, like, we make a deal, then if the information or the Freedom of Information Act were to be requested about us and, like, what they have on us because it's locked away, and government goes, yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure how it goes is, here's the information, or no, here it isn't. Doesn't matter what I say, but it almost feels like that he got to have a say about it for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. We'd probably have to do an actual we'd have to do an actual interview to find out why this was done. Let's adjourn. Well, it's been about an hour. Alright, so 2006, I have awful sex with minors, Long Beach State Attorney, grand jury, state attorney. You like, yeah, so all this is basically going through the whole how everything holy mother of God. Oh, the flight log came to be who's been on there. Like, this is pretty much everything that we'll end up coming to in smaller bits. Like I said, right now. No. You stop that. Sorry, everybody. Just looking for names right now. Circuit Judge, cool. Missed that bit. Yeah, but I feel like most people wouldn't have necessarily cared that he would have died there. Would I really want it to go happen? No. But if it would have happened, eh, eh. Two men, both with professional roots and prestigious things. Long Beach multi-manager friends accused network of underage girls. Sounds about right. Maybe we'll do something like that. Make this look correct. Well, I'm assuming these are attorneys then. Investigator. Circuit court judge. So I'll try to break it into potentially 11 things. So it'll just be Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe I'll do an inner circle, but probably just Jeffrey Epstein. And then the inner circle. And then this, but it won't be named. It'll probably be listed. So Jeffrey Epstein and whoever we, again, looking at evidence and what we can find, will be ranked number 10. The worst of the worst. The people that clearly did this. They're either Jeffrey Epstein themselves, who were having sexual encounters, or whoever else was having sexual encounters with minors, going to be number 10. And including people that were actually persuading young girls to come in. Now, that being said, caveat to that is if they were already a young girl convincing young girls, I can't. Yes, it's wrong, but I can't necessarily fault them for being or doing what they were doing. Situation. But if you're, 18 or older and going, you know what I should be doing? Getting younger girls to have sex with older men. Or if you're not even thinking that route and saying you should feel the way that I have had to feel, might also be in that category. And all the way down to 1, which would be probably people like her who just happen to be there, had to deal with him because paths happen to cross type of situation. That's it. That's all we need to know. So we are to that one because we can kill that. It looks at Epstein's prime number of people involved. Jesus, like, good God. So that's how that works then. So I don't feel comfortable with it. But yeah, so that's how, like, if you don't feel comfortable with, having sex with me, bring another girl and also pay you. Like, what? It's fucking terrible. Good God. Like, I'm sorry for being so silent, but it's one of those things that it makes it real sad. I kind of agree with that. All this stuff here. Hamilton, sex crimes against children, said Acosta and other prosecutors did similar to what Catholic Church did to protect pedophile priests. Like, it's, yeah, fucking gross. Better, because I am now standing. Holy shit. I'm not a sexual predator, I'm an offender, he told the newspaper at the time. It's the difference between a murderer and a person who steals a bagel. Fucking nutsack. Wexner, that's the only person, but he does own Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works. But, we don't know who else he's helped. Well, and apparently, maybe, the Stephen Hawking. I mean, probably not, but maybe. Well, there wasn't a lot in that. There we go. Dude, it literally was a slap on the wrist. Fucking 30 or 13 months. A bunch of horse shit. Oh well. Shit happens. Well, I mean, not oh well, shit happens, but dude's dead now. And hopefully the justice system actually works correctly for Miss Maxwell here. I'll pop that bad boy open because that's an important one. That's why I pull a plea deal saying when it would cause unintended harm. Many of the victims jeopardize monetary settlements, more than a dozen of them received. Word is true. Only for that he should be charged with federal prosecutors 12 years ago in Florida. With his money, Epstein was able to buy more than a decade of delay in facing justice, but fortunately he wasn't able to postpone justice forever. Thank God. For release applied, investigators for lenient plea deal. There's number one hedge fund. Whereas Epstein did not provide meaningful cooperation to obtain his relatively light sentence, and the hedge fund pays or any of that. Well, also, they're trying to trust Fox Business with that evidence. So who actually knows? Damn, there just isn't a lot apparently. Isn't a lot that's, sacred, that is. Just nothing is sacred. And that's the thing that I don't get. I just don't. Just. This officer at the Ohio property, which the security team refused to let her leave. Tried calling the sheriff's office, but didn't get a response. Her father had to drive from Kentucky to help her. She returned to uniform because Jesus. Holy fuck. Why? I don't get it. Like, I guess I don't. How do we let something like this fall through so much in the fucking cracks? This is my fucking problem. Like, holy fuck. I don't. I just don't get it. Sorry, nighttime folk. And So, Epstein has a wide variety of people, but it seems to be uh, seems to be the high-end people. May not necessarily rub elbows with Hollywood, but he does. I mean, the news, banks, and companies, and real estate on occasion, if you want to consider Donald Trump real estate. Doesn't really matter to me. It is what it is, I suppose. Also, should get Mark Epstein exists. Oh, we're gonna have to dig for a while. So really, from the 80s, right? So after 81, and for a while, he we don't know what he did. And to be fair, I don't think that there's a lot of ability to find out what he did. George Mitchell. Nowak. Jesus. Oh, Brig was a scummy dude. Johnny. Look into the infinity. Sorry. This actually reminds me. So, I need to go back here real quick because of the Ponzi scheme. Let me look up. Well, that sucks. So then, I was relatively sure that there was a. Let's go look for Hoffenberg instead. There we go. This guy. There's so little information about this guy. Alright, so we'll continue on. Together, how to explain, da 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 da. Legal operations, all that fun stuff. I just want to go see it real quick. I'll figure it out. So, jeez. Well, I suppose it is what it is. Well, I'll probably call it quits here and play video games. I know I said it'd be 4 hours, but whew, that's been a struggle bus. That's all. That is for sure. Well, boys and girls, I haven't quite made it as far as I wanted it to. Also, didn't get quite the reaction that I was expecting. So I'll probably do this again. Don't get me wrong. Still invested, but we'll have to do it another time. Talk to you guys later, and keep on investigating evil.